Hello friends, myself MOHD ASHAQ, student of BSc semester 4th from Government Degree College Mender. Today I am going to deliver a lecture on the topic Phylum Arthropoda. First of all, Arthropoda. Arthro means jointed and poda means feet. So Arthropoda include all those organisms which have jointed appendages. You can see all these are the animals belonging to various classes of Phylum Arthropoda. All of them have a common feature, that is, they have the jointed appendages. So they include the arachnids, spider you might have seen, beetles you might have seen, butterflies, cicada, dragonflies, grasshoppers, walking sticks, moths. All these are the examples of Phylum Arthropoda. However, this is the largest phylum of animal kingdom, and it includes 90,000 species, and it constitutes 80% of the known species of the animals. So you can consider that only 20% of rest of the proportion is shared by rest of the animals, whereas 80% is shared by only arthropoda. Then they have organ system level of organization. Then body is bilaterally symmetrical. You can see in this diagram they can be divided into two equal halves, one lateral halves and the other lateral halves. This is a typical example of bilaterally symmetrical organisms. Then body is triploblastic, made up of 3 germ layer and metamerically segmented. You can see in this diagram the segments, they are external as well as internal, dividing the internal organs as well as the external organs also. Then next is body segments or somites usually bear pure lateral and jointed appendages. You can see in this diagram that the jointed appendages are there. The appendages have the joints, they are present of the lateral side and they are coming from the segments. So appendage doesn't mean legs only. You may have the appendage of mouth, you may have the appendage of mouth, which includes jaws. Gills are also the appendage of the body, and the legs also. Then next is their body is covered out by the chitinous or the cuticle. So you can see in this diagram, this is exoskeleton. This is shed at intervals, and the shading of the skin or the outermost covering is called ecdysis. Is called ecdysis or molting. Shading of the skin or ecdysis is important for the growth and development of the organisms, because as I am said, it is dead. As I am said, it is dead, and when the living body inside will grow in size, then this dead layer will not be able to accommodate a grown body inside. So the old skin, or you can say the cuticle or the chitinous layer present outside, will be shed off through the process called ecdysis or molting, and new will be formed according to the body size. Then next is body is divisible into head, thorax and abdomen. So you can see in this diagram, this is head, this is thorax and this is abdomen. So sometimes head and thorax are covered by a common exoskeleton, the carapace. Then in that case, head and thorax are collectively called as cephalothorax. The next is they have the true cilium, but it is reduced to the species of genital and excretory organs. So the excretory organ space and the genital organ space is the space of coelom, and rest of the space is replaced by a blood-filled hemocoel. The next is muscles are non-continuous but comprises of separate, stripped or striated muscles capable of rapid contractions. You may not find the continuous layer of muscles you have seen in previous phylum also. The next is digestive system complete, and mouth parts are adapted for various modes of feeding. There is a diverse type of mouth in the arthropoda because arthropoda have diverse type of feeding. So in order to suit the different types of feeding in their mouth parts. Then next is circulatory system. Circulatory system, as we have discussed in the previous phyla also, that the previous phyla was having the closed circulatory system, but they have open circulatory system. You can see where you can see in this diagram that the blood from the heart, is coming from the arteries, and then it is coming in direct contact to the tissues. It is not directly continuing from one side of artery to the other sides of the arteries or corpuscles or the capillaries. And it has a many chambered heart. So you can see in this diagram, this is one chambered heart, this is second, and then this is third chambered heart, this is fourth, and then this is fifth chambered heart. So it has a many chambered heart of the dorsal side. It is present on the dorsal side. So then next is excretion by Silomo duct or Morphine tubules. So you can see in this diagram, this is Morphine tubules taking the excretory material from the fluid-filled body cavity hemocoel and then feeding into the intestine. Okay, it is opposes at the joint of hindgut and the midgut. So this is the Morphine tubules, also called Silomo ducts, or sometimes they may have a special type of gland called the Coxal gland or the green gland. So you can see in this diagram, the Coxal gland have a bladder, labyrinths of the saccule. They have a labyrinths of the saccule which takes the pretty material, then through the tubule, it gives to the bladder. The bladder is filled, it gives it outside through the pore. This is coxal gland or the grain gland. As you can see, this is the anterior most the head regions of the nephron. In nephron, the coxal glands are located over there and excretion takes place from there. Then next is respiration. Respiration by general body surface, also through the gills, also through the trachea or book lungs. So you can see in this diagram, in the lateral side of the body of the arthropods and some insects, they have a special type of openings. The holes are present, which are called the book lungs, which is communicating through various tubes to holes of the body called trachea. So if you look at the book lungs, it has many lamellae. It has many lamellae composed of fine lamellae. Their blood is highly circulated within the lamellae and exchange of gases takes place over there. Then next is nervous system, typically annelidian. Typically is of annelidian type. So what do you mean by annelidian type? Annelids were also having the pair of cerebral ganglia. It is also, you can see in this diagram, it is also called brain, and then a ring is coming down crossing the spharynx region. So this then join at the ventral to a long ventral nerve cord. The ventral nerve cord in each segments have a mass of neuron called the ganglia, and these ventral nerve cord are in paired. They you can see in this diagram, they are present in paired form. So then next is development, direct or indirect. It means not involving larva or involving larva with one to many larval stages. Parthenogenesis in some. Parthenogenesis, that is development of the individuals without fertilization or do occur in some organisms. Then next is parental cares, often well marked in arthropoda, that the parents to take care of their young ones. Then next is most diversified group. So the group of arthropoda which are included in Onychophora, they don't have the cilia and flagella. So then next is most diversified group. Most diversified group, the arthropoda is a diversified group inhabiting the land, water and air. So all types of habitats are duly occupied by the arthropoda. Thanks. This is all about the salient features of phylum Arthropoda. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.